going, bro?
Oh, fantastic. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Thanks.
Excellent. So Whitesnake now, is that a glove that fits real well yet, or is it still coming about?
I couldn't quite make out what you said there. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's just asking about, the joint in Whitesnake and, how that's going, familiarity with it. Does it feel like you're just one of the guys now? Has it been long enough? How's that all going?
It's hitting the next level of that, and we're just gearing up to take it out on the road right now. So once we do that, boy, it's really, really, it's really official. But yeah, certainly being a part of the album, playing on it, doing any of the promo we've done leading up to taking it out live has made me feel like a part of the band. So it's an honor, man.
Oh, I'm sure that it is. How has it been working with Coverdale?
Dude, David's the best, man. I mean, great dude. Number one, he's rock loyalty, as I like to say. I mean, he's telling me about stories with Blackmore and Jimmy Page and has a great rapport with all these guys. And on top of it, he's just got a great sense of humor and is a great musician and a very open-minded and generous guy. I mean, working with him in the studio was a breeze. We were on the same page with pretty much everything. And he was very supportive in terms of us playing like ourselves on this. He didn't want a note-for-note recreation of the Purple classics. He wanted a Whitesnake fresh coat of paint on all this, on these great proven songs. And we really got to flex our creative muscles, I think, quite a bit more than people would imagine on it. So there's all kinds of new parts and different reimaginations of these great songs.
Is that something that fans need to keep in mind when they hear this new album? Is it called Purple?
It's called the Purple Album.
Yeah, the Purple Album. Is that something that fans need to remember? Is this is not a competition. This isn't trying to do it exactly note for note. This is just. I like the way you said it. A fresh coat of paint. Is that something that we have to make sure that we don't fall into that trap of, well, this isn't exactly what I thought, but it's I kind of like this, or is it just, hey, take it how you take it?
Well, I don't know. I'm no one to tell people what to think or what to listen to, but in terms of what we did, we had a blast recording it. I mean, we had a great time, and getting an opportunity to put a fresh spin on these cool tunes was a total blast, man. I mean, what an honor and a great way for me to get started with the band. And hey, I personally, I think it gives people that weren't familiar with these songs an opportunity to hear them. And I think people that were familiar with these great songs, it gives them a fresh spin on them and a fresh take that hopefully they'll dig.
I think that's fantastic. I'm sure a lot of people are excited. I know I am. I'm excited that you guys are coming back on tour. I've seen Whitesnake a couple times, and it looks like a long tour. Is it starting in the States?
Yeah. As David says, we'll be tantalizing the colonies. Only David Coverdale can make something sound so cool like that, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, we're starting off with a few months here in the States, and very excited about that. And then we're going to take it overseas. There's much yet to be announced. I have to be careful what I divulge, but I know that the European dates and the UK dates, co-headlining with Def Leppard, are all up on the site right now.
Wow, that's quite a bill there. I can't believe that people will just flip over that. When you were on that metal show, you seem, and I've listened to interviews with you before and seen you before in different places. You seem like such a happy, appreciative person. Is that just your general nature?
I think so, dude, because I didn't become a rock star very early on. So there's not a lot of time for any of that sense of entitlement or being jaded or any of that BS. I don't have time for that. I love my job, and I think it's like the best job in the world. Just getting a chance to play rock guitar for a living is an honor and a privilege, not like something to be like frowned upon. So I'm psyched personally. I mean, to get out there and rock in the studio or live. Just both, man, and to be out with this great lineup. I mean, who would want to have Tommy Aldrich behind him on drums, man, and have Red Beach on the other side of the stage playing double solos with them, and have a legendary singer like David Coverdale front and center, man. I mean, I'm psyched.
Well, your exuberance is sure appreciated. I mean that sincerely. It's really neat to see. People can feed off of that for sure. I know I do. When you listen to Whitesnake, as a fan, what are the tracks or tunes from the past that you dig the most?
Well, growing up, the '87 album was the one that I really wore out. But I've been familiarized myself with the old catalog, and it's like unbelievable how many great tunes are in the catalog.
Yeah.
It's pretty staggering putting together a set list for this tour, because we have to remember we have to play some of the Deep Purple stuff too. So we've got the great hits from the Purple album that we'll be playing live, and then it's like hit after hit after hit with Whitesnake stuff. It's just unbelievable. So, yeah, it's like David. What a testament to David's great writing.
I saw that you did some work on a Randy Rhoads tribute. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, that really started. The first one was Brian Tichy's Randy Rhoads Remembered live event out in Santa Ana. Brad Gillis, I was still with Night Ranger, and Brad Gillis was going to be in it. Dude, Dr. Brian, get me on, have me play a song. And so that was my first taste of getting my feet wet with that. Then I did some of the East Coast dates when they came out here to play live. And then I was asked to be a part of the Immortal Randy Rhoads record produced by Bob Keelan. So many great players on the record. My predecessor, Doug Aldrich, George Lynch, Brad Gillis, Tom Morello, Weasel Zappa. So to be able to contribute a song on there was great. I just think Randy is one of those guys that really changed the whole way of playing guitar and hard rock. And for me, one of the biggest things he did was make classical seem cool. I was the son of two classical musicians, so they had me playing cello when I was 3 and piano when I was 7. And I just wanted to be a baseball player, man. I didn't do much of it all. But when I got older and started playing guitar, Randy really challenged my perception of all that stuff, because then you go, oh, well, wait a minute, this dude is playing classical stuff. Like the Diary of a Madman stuff is all sort of derived from a Leo Brouwer classical. So, and you realize, oh, that's from that song, and here he is, he's working it into an R&B tune. So it just really changed my perception of music, and he definitely changed the whole way of playing hard rock guitar.
Well, you can sure hear your love and respect and reverence for him. That's neat, and it sounds like you guys all have that, obviously, for the Deep Purple project. Well, coming out. Your sound. I saw something, and I think David Coverdale said that it's a different different Whitesnake sound. What exactly does he mean by that?
That was really. Yeah, David's interpretation of just going for a nice clean, twin guitar track, and I think just balanced, and Reb and I split a lot of the stuff, solos and all that stuff, kind of went about 50-50 on the record and live, and we're just trying to work together, man. I just think that this particular lineup, we're just really, that's always been my mindset of what to do to make a band work. How is this, what do I do and what do I play to make this all sound the best? That's how I always approach playing even on individual songs or whole albums. And I think that was kind of David's interpretation of that. But we went for a nice clean sound, and we had a great time doing it too, man.
Now, I've got to ask you this question. This is kind of the curveball question. I'm calling you from the high school that I work at. I'm a teacher, so I've got to know, what kind of student were you in school?
I was pretty good. I started out being one of the gifted kids, and then as I got more into playing guitar, I was channeling a lot of my mental energy there. My grades fell a bit, in all honesty. I think I kind of limped out of high school with a bit of the average type of approach, but I think that was just because I knew I was going to play guitar for a living. I think I didn't really have the whole, I got to make sure I get all A's, and well, there you go. That's the brutal honesty. I think guitar took away from it a little bit.
You had a passion. You went after it with it. That's great. What do you?
Well, yeah, it's a nice thing never had to have to make a career decision in your life, and that's something that guitar did for me. I think the moment I started playing, I went, "Wow, this is awesome," and that was pretty much my career choice.
Yeah, I was on a tour bus last weekend with the brothers Cavalera, from Sepultura and Cavalera Conspiracy, and I walked back to talk with Max, and on the way there I saw Igor, and Igor was doing work as an artist on one of the drum heads, and I didn't know later he sold it, and I bought it. But the reason I bring it up is, you guys, do you ever stop creating? Because, you guys are musicians. I see there's, autobiographies, there's artwork that's done. Is it just something, do you guys have to create to be happy? Is that just where your zone is?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's also our job. So for me, it's sort of a workman-like approach too. I'm just trying to every day get up and be productive. Like I said, you try and appreciate the fact you have the opportunity to do that. I think a lot of guys don't. Like, there's a lot of people stuck in jobs that they don't really want to be doing. So I try not to let any grass grow under my feet. Is that the thing? I hope.
Yeah, it sounds right to me.
Or a rolling stone gathers no moss, maybe, perhaps. I just try to keep moving, dude, and stay productive. And I just find that's the best way to stay happy in all of it and feel positive about it all.
How hard do you, as far as what is the heaviest metal or heaviest music that you get into as a fan or a listener, and does it influence your playing?
What's the heaviest I go? Well, some of my best friends in high school played really the heavier stuff. They're in a band like Slayer, and I actually sang for a bit without playing guitar, which I thought was a fun musical thing to take on when I was a young guy. So I can dig heavy stuff. I can dig it a lot. I think for me, what I end up missing is the melodic end of it, which I would say for me, still including melody. I love all the Dio stuff. Anything in that area was really in my wheelhouse, where there was still melody, like Sabbath and Dio and Ozzy, and AC/DC isn't so much like melody, but just I grew up on AC/DC. So.
What do you do outside of music, if you ever have a chance to do anything besides music? You're so busy.
Well, I grew up in Chicago, which is a big sports town, so I actively follow the Bulls. Of course, grew up there watching Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, so big Bulls fan, and still waiting on Chicago Cubs to win the World Series, which must happen in my lifetime.
Well, they're off to
my music career, I cannot die happy. I cannot die happy. The Cubs have not won the World Series, man. I still make off with a bit of a frown on my face.
Well, they're off to a heck of a start. I think they're 5-6 games over 500 right now, which I know it's early, but
we're looking good this year, man. And these guys are young, so I think in another really 2-3 years we're gonna have a real shot at it.
I hope so, because I'm not a Cubs fan. Actually, I'm a Sox fan. Don't hate me, but I remember when the Cubs played several years ago. I don't know if it was the Marlins, but there was a lady on TV. They showed her, and she must have been in her late 80s or 90s, and she was knitting a Cubs sweater. And when they lost in the playoffs, I just looked at her and looked at her face, and I thought, I wanted to cry for her and for all these people that have been.
It's been brutal, man. Between the 2003 collapse, which is the one you're referring to, and the '84 collapse, where they were up 2-0 and then lost 3 in a row just to get to the series. Those two together have just were bad, and I just think that the COS scene has had a good plan in place in terms of what he's done to get this youth movement. And we've got some players that I just think Chris Bryant's going to be a superstar. That's a dude we're going to be talking about as one of the all-time greats, I think.
Awesome. Well, let's leave it on a positive musical note. Why should people come out and see this Whitesnake tour and the Purple album?
Because we kick ass and the album kicks ass. How about the great lineup? How about, like I said, David Coverdale, Tommy Aldridge, Red Beach, killer bass player, Uncle Devin. We're just going to be bringing it live and having a good time with everybody playing songs that you love.
I cannot wait. I already know the 2 dates that I'm going to see. I actually live near Chicago, so I see you guys are coming to Geneva, and I see you guys are also going up to Milwaukee Summerfest. So I'm going to see you twice. I encourage everyone out there, all our readers and all that, to go see you guys. If you've never seen Whitesnake before, man, you are in for a treat. Thank you so much for your time. I know you're busy, and thanks also for all your positivity in your work.
Oh, thanks for your time. I really appreciate having me on.
All right. We'll talk to you later. Thanks much.